welcome to Jimmy D's RC, and thanks again for stopping by. So the unboxing has happened for the OMP Model Super Decathlon, and now it's time to go ahead and do a build video. So what do you say we get cracking and go right for it? Like I said before, I am going to be referring to the instructions on this one because, well, it's a bit more of an involved model, and I want to make sure I don't get anything wrong while I go through the build. So first off, step one, open the box, take out everything, make sure that you have everything that's required, that's fine. And now they want you to take out the undercarriage and support frame and install the undercarriage. So that's the first thing I'm going to do. I'm just going to get an airplane stand. Now, a lot of people will spend a whole lot of money on an airplane stand, but quite frankly, I find one of these vegetable boxes works great. You just cut some slots out, and lo and behold, when you're ready, there you go. Bob's your uncle airplane stand, and you can also store stuff inside. So a little bit of a tip, if you like it, by all means steal it and say that it was your idea. I won't complain one bit. So we're going to start with the undercarriage. Looks like they're just a 2.5 mil hex bolt. Now there's a screw and a washer, and it looks like they're sunk with a metal, I don't know if that's a blind nut, but there's a nut behind it. Struggling to get that little washer out. We'll see if that's magnetic. Yeah, those washers are just staying there. They're not coming with me. No worries. Okay, I got one of them. Let's see if the other two are magnetic. Or if they're aluminium. No, they're ferrous metal. They came up quite happily with the magnet. Okay, so make sure you install the undercarriage in the right orientation. So short bit to the front, long bit to the back. They say in the instructions to line it up, and then they say to glue the fairing on. And there are these little cutouts in the fairing, if you see that, and then you're supposed to break through the covering, and I guess you'd iron that or cut that, and then screw it accordingly. But all I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and screw it in first, screw in the undercarriage, make sure it's secure, and then just glue that right on top. You'll notice that I've got some scratches. I've already taken I think that's a 200 grit sandpaper. I don't know what it is, maybe an 80, who knows. So I've just taken some sandpaper and I've just scored that a bit because I'm just going to use a thick CA to secure that fairing on. So here they recommend Loctite. So I am going to use some Loctite, just some blue Loctite. Loctite 243, just on the end of each screw. And that'll keep that secure, keep it from coming undone. Hope you can see what I'm doing. I might do it this way. Yeah, that's better. Just a touch, doesn't need a lot, just a drop. Of course, don't tighten them down too hard right away. You want to get all three in, and then you tighten them down. Good tip is if you're finding that you're struggling to not get it cross-threaded, it's not going in, it's not seating right, back it up. Back the screw up while applying downwards pressure until you hear a click, or feel a click through the screwdriver. And that's just an indication that you're right at the start of that thread, and that should help you get it in nice and square. Alright, so there we go, undercarriage is on. Now whenever, I'm telling you, big guys like myself, anybody, you know, approaching 6 feet tall and with a bit of a beefy arm, just be really careful and don't over tighten these because they'll strip like anything. They're really tiny. Of course, don't underdo it as well. Use a tool, get it till it's, you know, I just get it till it's tight. It feels like it's cinching up, and then I give it a one quarter turn home, and that's about it. All right, now I'm going to get my CA. There we go. I like Zap-A-Gap. Gosh, I've been using that for ages. I've peeled more layers of Zap-A-Gap off my skin than I think I may have lost layers of skin originally, so we'll just give that a little test fit, make sure everything looks fine, and it does. Alright, I'm not going to overdo it. I'm going to keep it away from the screws, just so that I know it doesn't interfere or mar. Okay, I expect that's probably already too much. We'll see how we go. All right, and cover that up. Good thing about thick CA is you have a little bit of time to play with things if you don't get it right on the first shot. That thin CA, man, that cures almost straight away. There we go. I'll pop that on, hold it down for about 10 seconds, so we'll... Welcome back. So let's now look on to the next step. So that's all done. Now we want to do the stabilizer and glue that puppy in. Alright, I might do that with the aeroplane out of the stand. So what we want to do now is put in the stabilizer and elevator. I'm just going to give it a test fit because I haven't test fit it yet. I'm just going to move that wing out of the way because I'll tip this forward. I like to tip it on its nose often, so we'll see. That might be too thick. Let's see how we go. Oh, you beauty. That's perfect. Beauty. Take off, you hoser. Beauty. All right. Okay. The fit's a little bit more stiff than I thought. So I was going to use a thick CA to do that. But I think that's going to need a thin CA. Because I don't think I'll get that in before the thick CA sets up. It's pretty solid, I'll tell you what. Tools of the trade. Measure from here to 1. Let's go right to the split. It's 51 centimeters. 51 centimeters, wow, like bang on. That's awesome right from the start. That's very good. I'm just going to push it home a bit more when I glue it, so I might just bring it back. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with the thick CA again for this one. Where to put it? There it is. Yeah, because once you push it home, right, and it doesn't need a whole lot, doesn't need a big bead. I'm just going to lay a narrow bead above and below. I'll flip it onto its side, so I'll get a few more sponges. That'll protect the body work here while I'm working. Yeah, good show. I hope you can still see that up there. I hope it's not off camera. Let's see how we go. So, top, bottom. In fact, we'll lay a nice thick one. I'll flip it. I'm going to work quick because you only have about 30 seconds before a thick CA will set. So, now push it home quick before it sets up. Alright, that's pretty good. So that's just the front, and let's double check that I haven't ruined anything when it comes to the measurement here. Okay, a bit more. And a bit more. That's closer. No, that's about right. Good show. Good enough for army work. And then put in the wing tube and make sure that it looks horizontally parallel to the wing tube. And it does. That looks great to me. Yep. Awesome. Very happy. She's going to need a bit more CA now. Now I'll go switch over to the thin CA. So now we're going to pop the rudder on. Very straightforward, just a CA hinge, 1, 2, 3. And so they're going to go into the slots. Got a pre-cut. This is one of the hardest jobs to do, I find, when it comes to finishing up your models after you've built everything. If you build a model up straight from balsa like some of the old timers used to, myself included, getting your slots correct for like CA hinges and then hinging everything properly, and you're cutting into your work, That's quite a challenge. Okay, this one here, it doesn't seem like they've left a good slot in the covering down the bottom. Yeah, there actually is no cut in the covering down the bottom, so I'm going to have to do that one. And that's not a problem. I've got plenty of experience. I just want to make sure it's centered right where it needs to be. X-Acto knives, usually they have hinge tools specifically for this, but I'm just going to do it using the old Mark 1 eyeball. Okay, so it's just going to go from about here to about a little lower, about there. Let's see how that goes. Yeah, so the slot was cut in the wood, but not in the covering. A quality control issue, but honestly, that's completely manageable. It's very minor, no problem at all. Now, line up your stripes in the covering. So mine just looks like it needs to go up a bit. There we go. And then make sure you have enough gap so that you can get full deflection on your rudder. They say 4 sheets of paper. I'm just going to flex it back and forth a few times and then make sure the gap is even, top and bottom. And then I'm going to go straight for the CA. Again, we'll layer on our side for this one. I've got more if I need them. Great for transporting your airplane too in the car. If you want to go from one spot to another, I've cut out these little kind of divots in there, right? Insert your wheel spats, and then your plane doesn't roll around in the car or the cab, depending on what country you're in. Again, I'm going to kick this off to the side so that I'm not resting. Oh, maybe I'll just add another one. There you go, and that's better. And everybody can see what they need to see. All right. Looks good. Okay. Now these are very, very cool hinges. They just came out back in the, I think it was late 90s when we started using them. And boy, do they work a treat. A couple of drops of CA. Don't overdo it. Just needs a couple of drops. And that's going to wick along the fabric that's outside the nylon part of the covering. Usually they're fabric and nylon. And yeah, it's just going to go into the balsa and harden right up. Not a problem. Excellent. Just going to clean it. Any excess, because I did overdo that bottom one, but the rest of them are okay. And any liquid will act as any water will act as an accelerant. So if there's water in your cleaner that you're using, just be wary. But I mean, if you're using thin, stuff's practically, you know, got accelerator in it already anyway. Okay, so when I say accelerator, I mean something that makes your CA harden faster. I'm just going to give it a drop on each hinge from the other side. This one had a lot, so I'm sure it's saturated. Yeah, there we go. Rudder is hinged. So they want the wings on now. So, in goes my carbon tube. I might take the cap off just to make it easier to do up the screws. Yeah, if I put a window in that, I'll probably keep the tray. I'll keep the tray and I'll just see about maybe cutting the covering and wrapping it back and putting just like some plastic there to make it look like a window looking up. The only issue is the interior isn't really scale. There's no seat or any pilot in there, and I really like to have pilots in my planes. So, you know, projects for the future, things to think about. But oh boy, is she gonna look good from the outside. What an excellent looking airplane. So I'm actually really excited to get it in the air. I couldn't hold off on the build. You know, the guy got it from there, Steve at Knife Edge RC Products. I said, oh, do you want me to hold off on the build because, you know, I could do a video, I could invite you over, you could check it out and take photos, whatever. And, you know, at the end of the day, I just decided, nope. I want to get it built because I want to fly it because it's just gorgeous. Great. Good show. Hey, look at that. I didn't notice that. They've got that nice little angle cut in there as well. This is just going to use a nylon screw. They're supplied. what do they call it? M5 nylon screws. Yep, that's all that is. And that's how the wings are held on. All right, that's locked and secure. Now we'll do the second one. Okay, good show. All right, good show. Okay, there she is. Look at that, eh? She's already looking great, looking a lot like an airplane without, of course, the struts, but we'll probably go ahead and do that next. We'll see what it says. Okay, yep, that's it. That's what we're doing now. Probably. The wide one goes to the front, the narrow one goes to the back. And it looks like I'm probably going to have to do some bending here, according to the instructions. So I've got myself a set of pliers for that. Just some square nose pliers. Right. This is a 2. Yeah, that's a 2 mil for these attachments for the struts. Alright, wing struts are done. Excellent. Let's move on to the next step. Okay, so now they want me to do the reinforcement on the tail section. So we'll just pop this back on so I don't lose it. Stay where it's supposed to. There we go. So, reinforcement for the tail section, we're going to be using cables and collars. They supply the collars, they supply the cables, they supply everything. Yeah. So we'll see how we go. So a little bit of a collar here first. So collar through the hole, through the collar again. Collars have a wide side by the looks of it and a narrow side. Let's pull that down. This is very similar to the system used for the flying wires on the Tiger Moth. So you can always, if you snap a cable, you can just go to like a jewelry making, like a craft store or something like that, and you can get jewelry maker's wire, right? Or you can even get fishing leader. I think they call them leaders. There we go. Give her a quick. Make sure she's firm, and she is. This doesn't have to be super tight, okay? Just taut. Don't overdo it. You overdo it, you're going to change the angle of your control surfaces. There's no need for that. It's just a brace. That's all it is. Think of it as just a brace. You know, your cast isn't super tight on your skin if you break an arm, right? It's just there. That's the idea. It's just there to protect. Same idea with this. It's just there to give it a little bit of reinforcement. It doesn't have to be super tight. Maybe a touch tighter than that. Not a lot. Yeah, it's starting to pull that rudder, that stabilizer over to my side a bit. And I don't want that. Honestly, it's going to stretch. It's going to stretch as you fly the thing anyway. There we go. One. Side cutters. Boom. Done. Okay, take the 4-ball joint connecting rods, install one of the 58.5 millimeter on the left as well as the right wing. So 58.5 millimeter. Never, never, never pass up an excuse to use your calipers if you have a set. Because, you know, why would you want to buy those? Maybe the wife would say while you're in the shop, oh, babe, I need them. So, you know, if you get a chance to use them, oh, it's a given, gotta use them. So it looks like I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 push rods here, connecting rods, and 1, 2, 3 are the same length, and the 4th is longer. So I'm guessing it's going to be one of these two little guys. 55, well, 59, let's go hole to hole. Look, close enough, right? Because those ones are going to be 60, 70, 80 something. Yeah, okay, 85. So they say 58 and 85, I guess, I hope. Otherwise my calipers need to be calibrated. So it's the small ones. You're using the small ones. Now I saw something about 2 different size holes, and yeah, it looks like, okay, I see. There's a bevel on one side and not on the other, right? Bevel on one side and not on the other. So the side that goes to the ball link is going to be the side with the bevel. And we're back. Unfortunately, I couldn't find a spacer that would fit in the hole there for that propeller, and then fit on the. I mean, you can drill it out to fit on the prop shaft, but I'd rather find the propeller that's got the right diameter prop shaft hole. Fits on the prop shaft well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the stock one that came with the model. And I guess I'll be flying 3S initially until I can get myself a 12x6 or a 12x6.5. How about that? So there's the main build for your OMP Hobby Super Decathlon. We'll take these out of here so we can get a a nice view, and we'll clean up the table so it looks nice and sharp. I've missed securing the tail wheel to the rudder. That's what that last little screw is for. I don't remember seeing it in the instructions tonight, but I have seen it before, so I might, let's see how we'll do that with sponges. It's just like basically like a thick needle that's attached to a handle. So I'm going to give that a punch about halfway up, just to mark where I'm going to do it. All right, and I'll start off the screw. There. It doesn't need to be cinched down super tight because you do want a little bit of play between the steering slot. It's just a long slot. You'll see when you get the model. Yeah, that's good. Beautiful. Good show. Done. Okay. Now I'm done. Now I'm done. Theme music? Cue the theme music. So majestic. Alright, OMP Hobby Super Decathlon. So from here, of course, it's going to be just you know, a little bit of buttoning up, odds and ends. I'm going to run on AR6610T, so that's just basically a 6-channel receiver with telemetry, and I got my diversity antennas, 2 antennas there. I'm going to throw one of those Find Me buzzers in there as well, just in case I lose it, which I really hope I don't, because it's gorgeous, isn't it? And you know, then it's going to be a center of gravity check with battery in, control throws, you know, radio set up, and then we're ready to give her a maiden. So hopefully we see that video in the near future. So hey, thanks for stopping by the workshop today and checking out the OMP Hobby Super Decathlon. Of course, if you want to get any OMP products and you're in Australia, hey, check out Knife Edge RC Products. Okay, KnifeEdgeRCProducts.com. Email Steve, say, hey, I'm interested in talking to you about your lineup. I think he's got 4 different types of aircraft right now. He's got the OMP Hobby Super Decathlon right here. He's got an OMP Hobby Bighorn. Bighorn's very popular. It's another similar type of airplane, kind of like a bush plane, but you could do 3D with it or treat it like a trainer. He's got one called the Bushmaster, which probably is going to be coming out on their website in, I don't know, maybe a month or so. He had to wait for his order to make sure that he could get a couple of those Bushmasters because they weren't anywhere yet. Excuse me, I just got a bit. And then what has he got? He's got 2 versions of a 60-inch Edge 540. So one of them is the timber one. I forget what it's called. It's got a special name. It's just made out of balsa. It's not all carbon inside. And then he's got the Rolls-Royce 60-inch Edge 540 T. I don't know if it's the T, because the T is usually the twin, right, with the 2-seater. So I think it's just the Edge 540. And inside, it is like carbon Kevlar, like reinforcing for all the plates, all the formers that go all the way down to the back of the airplane. And it's so really nicely done. You've got like carbon stringers running through the thing, carbon running through the wings, and it's just beautiful. Like the attention to detail on that model, oh, I'm saving up my pennies. I think I might end up buying one from him. Anyway, so yeah, check him out. He's a great guy, you know, really trying to push this OMP stuff. If you're in the Sydney area and you have a flying club and you'd like him to come down and do a demo, drop him a line. He's interested in coming down on the weekends and flying a few airplanes and having a chat and really meeting people face to face, because let's face it, you can get stuff cheaper than an OMP Hobby airplane. You can get cheaper than a Super Decathlon and their whole lineup, and there is a reason for that. OMP have decided to compete on quality instead of price, and really that's something that you have to experience to appreciate. Just looking on a web page doesn't really cut it. Look, I bought one and I don't think that's going to be my last OMP model. It depends on how it flies, but from what I've seen on YouTube, she goes all right. So there it is. That's my spiel for today. So again, thank you for stopping by the workshop tonight. Really appreciate it. Checking out the video. If you like the video, please subscribe. Give me that old thumbs up, like the video, click the bell for notifications if you'd like to receive more. And next time you're up there flying, hope you have a good time and have a great day. All the best. Take care.